2005 to finish her medical studies to qualify as a doctor, and then came straight back.
And completing the lineup closest to you will be Great Britain. Caroline O'Connor in the coxswain seat facing the stroke. Louisa Reeve, Katie Greaves and Natasha Page also involved in doubling up, coming into the crew. Beth Rodford, and then Jessica Jane Eddy, Georgina Menechot and Carla Ashford and Baz Moffat in the bow seat. Australia with Kate Hornsey, another of the world's top 10. I do wish they'd actually change that top 10 women rank 7. I mean, we know what you're trying to say, but I think that you need to get it right. And it is Kate Hornsey in the stroke seat, Elizabeth Patrick in the coxswain's position with the race plan, Vicky Roberts picking up the rhythm from Kate Hornsey, and then Sarah Hurd, Kim Crow and Sarah Cook in the engine room with Sarah Outhwaite, and then Emily Martin and Sonia Mills in the bow of Australia's 8. And Emily Martin just shows you the Australians with a real full squad of talent. And of course, they're going to. It's quite interesting for them. It's a reasonably long flight, but they're on the same time zone as Beijing. Pretty well.
Yes, I don't know. One of the subjects of great discussion in the Gifu World Championships was the degree to which countries like New Zealand and Australia and Indonesia, those immediately within the same time zone, but half a hemisphere away, should approach it. And the New Zealanders and Australians both arrived during the heat. You know, they just came straight up without any acclimatization at all.
Annemiek de Haan in the stroke seat for Holland, with Sarah Ziegelaar working her way back to in the bow there, Femke Dekker, who's been a solid servant for the Dutch over many a year. So, the final of the women's 8s. China on the far side in lane 1, Australia, who were bronze medalists last year, then Canada, Holland, Germany and Great Britain, and away we go. Good start by Germany, 2 from the bottom of your picture, and Germany may have just the early edge.
It was a matter of centimetres if it was anything, but it was a clean start by everybody, and we've actually had, from my recollection, no full starts today at all.
But it is Germany, and that is a definite margin here.
No, that is a definite margin. No, I concede the point. However, they crossed the line only a centimetre ahead of everybody else. But 8's fastest moving boat, least chance for recovery if it's gone wrong. Great Britain closest to the camera here in lane 6, with Germany inside them, and that's who they're going to have to hang on to, or they'll get left behind in this race. Germany reaching forward further and a longer arc than Great Britain, a little bit upright, very sharp, very clean, but it looks like Germany has a longer stroke and is levering their boat ahead to carry the whole race before them.
I'll tell you what's really interesting about Germany this season so far. It's very clear that as far as the men's division is concerned, the German 8 is the number 1 boat, but as far as the German women is concerned, that has yet to be realised, which is going to be their prime boat.
Indeed, the German men, however, their top 8 isn't here. The one we're going to see in the next race is not their top 8. Their top 8, with a couple of people who've rowed boat races on in it, is apparently going so badly they decided not to bring it. So it could be the priorities are going to change. But on the far side, we have China over in lane 1. Now appearing to challenge Germany and to be in second position, but a very even race right across the field, no more than half a length from first to last.
It's interesting that they had this competition. I don't actually know what the result is. We must try and find out, Hugh, to find a coxswain. It was sort of like a celebrity show in China to try and find a coxswain to cox the Chinese 8. Now, it was the Chinese men's 8, really, wasn't it? Not the Chinese women's 8.
I must say, I did hear all about this, and I hadn't thought about it for 6 months. They must be getting quite close to a result now.
Yeah, who's won?
Yes. So we have Great Britain hanging on to Germany, but probably only in 4th or 5th place, in spite of being only 3/4 of a length, less than 3/4 of a length, half a length down on the leaders.
Caroline O'Connor. just keeping an eye on Germany, because you know if they can stay with Germany, they've got a chance of maybe finishing on the podium. And of course, everybody's striving for these World Cup points. Great Britain would love to win the overall Nations Cup of the season. It's something they've never done. No other nation other than Germany has. But the performance of the British squad overall gives them a major chance. And now they are beginning to make an effort and have an effect.
They appear to be coming into 1,000 metres in second place, which is a very different picture than we got earlier on. Now, that may be parallax, it may be the angle of the camera to the... No, they're all in the line. They did actually come through there in second place, GBR, but by the fraction of a second, 0.3 of a second it's given there. It was less than that. But well on them, good on them. There's 4 boats there looking for 2 medals behind Germany. Germany looking quite secure. 8s, as I say, you can't change the speed that rapidly. And if they go on rowing like this, Germany will win, probably by half a length. But there's a tremendous race for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th.
Because one crew that we can't ignore in the women's 8s, who we've yet to see and hopefully we'll see later in the season, will of course be the women's crew from the United States, the reigning world champions.
No, we've seen them, but we've seen them in pairs. First and second in pairs. Well, they've got a whole other 8 which we don't know about, but Caroline Lind and Lindsay Shoup, that lot were in the pairs earlier on today and looking very strong, and they will be pleased that their overall winter conditioning turns out to be on the mark. Now they'll go back and row their 8 and see what they can develop. This race in the tailback behind Germany turning into a very exciting race with, at the moment, still 1, 2, 3, 4 boats in a row.
I was just looking there at Leslie Thompson, Willie as she is now, married. There can't be anybody in any of those boats who's got the experience that she has.
Well, Buffy Williams is also quite well up there, also being married to Barney. But look, you call it, David.
Well, I'd say I
Great
actually...
Britain's still in second place. But
yeah, Great Britain is in second place, Canada there, and Australia also in with a chance. And Great Britain, if they can keep this going, and it's the coxswain, Britain's coxswain, Carolina O'Connor, who's trying to drive her 8 with Louisa Reeve in the stroke seat to maintain this contact with Germany. That's their big hope. But now look at the Dutch. The Dutch are now beginning to work better now than at any other time. Annemiek de Haan in the stroke seat now really beginning to drive the Dutch through, and I'd be very surprised if the Dutch don't actually finish here on the podium now. It's a question whether anybody can cut into this German advantage. It's pretty late in the race, but you can see there the bow of Great Britain. The orange vests of Holland are now improving there. You can see them coming through on the other side of Germany. And then you've got Canada being overtaken there by the Dutch. And now I would say Holland have moved into second place. And now the countdown begins here. How many boat places can the Dutch claim off the Germans? Germany leading in first place. Then it is the Dutch in second place. Great Britain are third at the bottom of your picture there, and then Canada in fourth place. Australia are fifth, and China are sixth, coming towards the line now. And it is Germany who crossed just ahead there of probably Great Britain. It's right on the search. Great Britain getting back to take second place back from the Dutch right on the line, but that's unofficial.
That's official, I'm afraid. Not afraid. 0.25 of a second ahead of Holland on the line, having been almost exactly the same margin ahead of them at 1500. But it came and went, and it came and went. It was fantastically exciting racing, that. And there they are with the